Hi guys, so we're changing things up a little bit. Right now we're seated, and you can do this at home on your sofa as well if you don't want to get up. So what we're doing is bicep curls today, and we're finding alternatives. So at home you might not have a dumbbell or a kettlebell. I have here a filled water bottle ready, so we're going to use this to do little bicep curls, aren't we?
Indeed, indeed. Right, if you just sit facing forwards.
Okay.
I tend to like people to have their knees together, so together, just to keep them out of the way of when you're doing the curl. And then if you hold that in one hand, good, you're then just gonna put it down by your side, and then you're gonna curl it up. Okay, so there's a few things to focus on here, all pretty simple. First of all, the emphasis is on the bicep, so the only joint that you want moving is this elbow. So she's gonna curl up from there and not have any movement taking place in the shoulder ideally. Good. At the bottom, she's going to full range, nice, and then coming back up. Now, you'll see a lot of people do this at the top. But if you look at where the weight is relative to your elbow and your bicep, nothing's going on here. If we showed you from the side, nothing's happening. There's no actual weight. You could stay here for ages and your shoulder would get tired first. So as she comes back to here, we're only gonna come up to about this angle where there's still tension in the bicep, and then go back down. Gonna come up, and go back down. Now, because this could only weigh so much, one way that we can try and increase how much load this is putting on your bicep and how much work your bicep is having to do in this situation is we could also force you to supinate, which is turn in this direction. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is hold it like this, at this end of it. So there's more weight on this side. And as a result, the whole time, your hand is not only having to curl, but it's having to stop this from going like that.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? It's gonna have to work a little bit harder. The only issue is that it means you have to rotate slightly outwards because your hips are in the way. And in this case, what you can do is stand up. And now the hips are out of the way, and you can kind of just keep your hand here and then curl up like that. So you're able to not feel like you're so far rotated outwards. There, exactly. And come up like so. Your last little thought is that maybe this might not be able to provide you something heavy enough. I'd imagine for some people, if a bottle gets too full, then it's going to be too big, in which case you're just grabbing hold of, again, something that hangs, so this could be the handles of a bag or something like that. It's not ideal because your range gets slightly hampered by, at the top, this is going to bash against your forearm, but you're still able to create quite a lot of tension there, come down into this position, and then curl back up, keeping everything very stable across the shoulder, focusing the movement on your elbow.
Perfect.